Hey everybody, welcome back to another Judgment commentary of Owarimonogatari, but today we're going to be checking out episode 10, part 3 of the Shinobu male arc. Last time, after Araragi was saved by Ononoki, he considered sending Tsuruga on her way back home so that she would be safe. But Ononoki thought this was a terrible idea and decided to punish him for even suggesting it by putting her foot on his face. Yep. But after that was said and done, Araragi and Tsuruga made their way to the rendezvous point over at the park so that they could meet up with Gaien, and they ran into a bit of a hiccup on the way, that being that they got lost. Hopelessly lost. For whatever reason, Araragi just couldn't find his way there. They kept going around in circles. And of course, the first thought anyone would have when they see Araragi get lost is the snail. But of course, it can't be Mayoi because, well, they just finished the arc where she moved on, and yet he's still getting lost. He suspects it may have been the work of the armor, but who knows, perhaps it was some other lost cow ghost entity. But either way, imagine being poor Araragi. He just got through the arc where he had to let Mayoi go into the afterlife, and then immediately has to be reminded of her by getting lost in the same fashion that she caused. But it's fine, with the help of Tsuruga, they managed to solve the problem. She just got up really high, saw where they needed to go, and then she led the way, and it was good. But by the time they reached the park, Gaien was nowhere to be found. She left for whatever reason. They thought maybe to go and deal with some kind of supernatural nonsense, but no confirmation yet. But you know who was there? Shinobu. Yeah, it turns out after Shinobu and Hanekawa went to the school and saw that it had been burned down, they ran into a bit of a problem. The problem being some kind of strange lobster monkey thing. Yeah, they were attacked by this strange creature that Shinobu referred to as a monkey, and they were apparently having a hard time with it until Ononoki happened to show up and bail them out of it. She tends to do that a lot. So then Shinobu found her way here, had a brief little conversation with Araragi, and then the lobster monkey thing showed up again. So what the heck is this thing? What's it doing here? I don't know. It is very reminiscent of the monkey of the past, given the raincoat that it's wearing. And I guess, lobsters are kind of like crabs, so maybe it has something to do with the crab as well. So, I guess we'll see about that, guys, but without further ado, let us begin. Yeah, you saw that. It said he returned to this town, and then there's just immediately this baby crying, and then this weird little baby in the water here. And it was 15 years ago that he returned. Now, Araragi's not 15, so it's not like you could say he returned as him. Araragi's probably around 18 or so by now. But the idea that he's just making, like, hodgepodges of Araragi's previous foes is fascinating. Although they seemed to be getting weaker, because Shinobu said that the one that she fought put up more of a fight than the one that Araragi took down. But still, it is interesting that he has specifically chosen stuff that Araragi has faced, and now he's even stolen his voice. There's a lot of Araragi-specific stuff that's happening here, and Gaien was indicating that this can't be really coincidental unless coincidence really favors the guy. I mean, yeah, it's true that a lot of the stuff that goes down either involves him specifically, or people very close to him. Or people that he usually ends up getting close to. I mean, one thing specifically happened to target his own sister, although I noticed the specific wording. She said he returned to this town. He returned 15 years ago. If he returned, that would mean he's been here before. His sister, Karen, is about 15 years old, right? I doubt that has anything to do with this, but it is something of note. And of course I have to mention that for whatever reason, Gaien decided to masquerade as being the sister of Oshino. Which, people lying about being related to Oshino seems to happen a lot. That is, if you believe Ogi is lying about that, but the only evidence is that Shinobu said she was lying, so for whatever reason, it would seem that the go-to disguise that people have is pretending to be related to Oshino. I guess it's just something that people would easily believe. But of course, we got confirmation. The armor was her first minion. After all this time, he did survive. Barely. I mean, he turned into freaking dust and had to slowly regenerate just enough to regain his consciousness after 400 years of arduous trial and error, trying to regenerate over and over and over again and just getting blown away by the wind every time. Yeah, that backfired pretty bad. And I guess given the context of what he was saying, by the way, when he said he lent her the sword, he could easily just be referring to the duplicate of the sword, that he lent it to her 400 years ago, and now he just wants it back. Even if it's not the OG. Also, something that she just kind of quickly threw out and then said, "Are you confused?" right after, was that she said not only did he assist him in recovering just tonight by letting him drain him, she said everything he did as an individual helped him along. Somehow. Yeah, so a lot of interesting stuff that Guyan threw out there. A lot of cryptic wording. Stuff about him returning to town. And that Araragi assisted his development in everything that he had done recently as an individual. All the stuff dealing with the apparitions perhaps somehow aided that along. Is there something special about Araragi that has guided all of this to happen? Or is it a sheer coincidence? Who can honestly say? But for now, I think that's the limit to what I can analyze here, guys. So thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed. Subscribe to be updated on more. That would be great. Next time, we got episode 11, part 4 of Shinobu Mail. And then that's part of the final 3. There's still plenty of time for them to give us all the info we need. In any case, I am hyped to see where the rest of this is going. This has been packed with a lot of weird, intriguing stuff, man. I mean, just the return of her first minion here, and just him bringing back all of these just mutant apparitions, basically, that are just kind of not even really apparitions. They're just shadows of them, so to speak. And the tragic, tragic fate that he's had to endure is... whew. Hurts the brain just to think about it. But for now, that's all I got. So, till we meet again, I will see you guys all later.